Okay, next tractor project. Welded on some chain hooks. I'm going to take Chucky 2009's advice. He's a YouTuber, does a lot of welding videos, super informative. And I'm going to weld on instead of welding these directly to the bucket here, I'm going to weld on a backing plate. I don't think I'm using quite as thick. This is 3/16 by 3, and I don't think it's quite as thick as what he used. In any event, underneath here, this may not come out, there's a square tube right here underneath the bucket that gives lots of good support, but underneath the back here, my finger's coming out there, underneath the back here there's not much support. So we'll go ahead and spread the load out. These are hooks off Amazon, and I went ahead and just polished them here with the brush, with the wire brush on the grinder wheel, just to get any whatever off them so they'll weld better. I need all the help I can get with my welding. And this is what they are: 3/8, 6,000 pounds working load, 6,600, whatever. Hopefully I'll never, well, the bucket won't lift that anyway. This bucket on this 2555 will lift 3,000 pounds supposedly. So we'll get this brushed off here and we'll get them welded on. Okay, first we're just going to tack the corners and then we'll weld it up hard. Okay, so instead of, on this second one, instead of using circles or loops or waves or E's or whatever you call them, I just drug the weld, and that made a nice, it seemed to get good penetration on the top and the bottom. Still pretty splattery. If you guys got any ideas, please let me know. I'm turning up the power and turning down the power. This is the Miller 211 with auto set. I've always used the auto set because it's always worked really, really well. And so this is 3/16. I start out down there with splattery. I work my way up to 3/8 just because this is so much thicker. It still seems to splatter, so give me your ideas. My tip seems to, I just changed my tip the last time I welded, so, or a couple times that I welded ago. I don't do that much welding, so, and the tip looks good. It doesn't look like it's wallered out or anything, so give me your ideas. I appreciate it. Also, oh, I'm using a 2575, I think. Yeah, I'm using 2575. I'm sure that's what it is. So now I'm going to go ahead and do a walking pass, I guess, whatever you call it, along here, just to build up some more metal and get some more contact patch on that side and on this side. So you see I didn't quite get the penetration I wanted at the bottom that I got here. But then again, it burned right through here. It over penetrated through the end of the hook there, so I got that a little hot. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Okay, still a lot of splatter, but I'm happy with the penetration, I think, on the top and the bottom there. And this one I lost my penetration along that bottom edge a little bit. It was just a little rounded, so so hopefully with all this coverage and extra weight, it'll hold the hooks on. And I think I get good penetration in the back here, so. All right, now to clean them up and paint them. Okay, this Mahindra 2555 bucket, it lifts 3,000 pounds at the pivot pin supposedly. So the hooks are rated at 6,600 pounds, I think is what they said. I don't see myself ever lifting anything over 1,000 pounds. I mean, seriously, for what I do around here. So this is probably overkill. Got the first coat of paint on the hooks, and check them out. Yeah, baby. Ain't nothing like a good coat of paint to make a bad weld look good. So I tried to put these in line with the loader arms, and I guess some commenters on some of the tractor forums were saying if you put them out here, it can cause stress on your bucket and maybe twisted bucket, or maybe stress on the loader, lateral stress. I don't know, on the loader arms. I don't know. It makes sense to me to just put them right there for the purposes but for the light lifting that I'm going to be doing, I probably could have put them on the edges. But anyway, it's a done deal now. So I bought 3 of these hooks on Amazon. I think they were $8 or $9 a piece. And the third hook is for the backhoe bucket, and that'll go on whenever I put the backhoe back on the next backhoe project. I'll just roll it in here and weld it on. I may use a backing plate like I did here, but the backhoe bucket is a lot thicker than this loader bucket, so we'll have to see. Okay, I got to give credit where credit's due. My father-in-law Robert taught me to weld with an arc welder as a wee lad, and I was just a kid, 18-year-old kid, when he taught me to arc weld, probably 19, and I bought an arc welder, and I ended up buying a generator arc welder, which I really liked, and that was fantastic. The quality of weld was just amazing. His brother, Robert's brother, Tom, his late brother Tom, taught me to run a MIG welder probably 20 years ago or so. So I ended up with this Miller 211, and I just love it because I don't weld really enough to, like some of these pros do, that they can tell by the sound and the way the weld looks and the way there's splatter, how to adjust it, and I had most of that figured out when I had a regular MIG welder, but I bought this one with auto set, and I just kind of set it on the wire size and then adjust the thickness of the metal, and I get pretty much what I want. So it takes a lot of the guesswork out for me, and I only run the welder maybe once a month or a couple times a month at the most for little projects here and there. So anyway, welding's been one of the most useful things anybody ever taught me, so thanks to those guys for teaching me that. From a guy's perspective, at least, to be able to fix your own stuff and just be able to take care of things if they break on your trailer or tractor or car or whatever. I welded things on my Jeep. I welded things on my Xterra there. When the sway bar mount broke off of the cross member on the front, it was making a clunking noise, and so just cleaned that up and welded it back up. It's been fine ever since, and I can't tell you how many projects I've done with a welder over 25 years or so, almost 30 years now. So it's been, if you don't know how to weld, it's worth the it's very worth the investment, very satisfying to be able to fix your own stuff and do your own projects too. So this is just a small, easy project, and so I just like to thank those guys for what they did for me.